Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Growing Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name is Tom Novak, and today is March 10th of 2024. It's 31 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 1 degrees Celsius. It's Sunday. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. My Tamarack was torn asunder by what? I have no idea. Something's tearing apart my plants. So after finding my empty pot and tag, for 2 weeks it was lost. I couldn't find it. I thought it was gone forever. So I did find it yesterday. It was laying into the my hydrangea. At least the soil was down, so I threw in a temporary ceramic pot. Now I'm going to repot it into a larger pot that's made for outside, and I'll put it in a fast draining soil mix, whatever I can fit in here. So let's check it out. Let me get my gloves on because it's going to be real messy. Here it is, and everything's worn out when I got it. It's about 2 years old. This will be the third summer, I'm pretty sure. So I have to look at my notes. So I had 3 in here, but the other one died. But that was dead a couple of years ago. So let me get it out. I just forced it in. And you can see this is all frozen in. But I had to do it this way. I say, Tommy should have left it in here. Not really. Because this pot got these lips on there. I can get it out. And you can see I just put it in this. So let me put this pot over here. And let me get all the roots out. You can see the roots. They were all entangled. Now, I don't know if I can get this loose or not. Just to get a little bit off, let me throw this screen out. I couldn't do it yesterday, so I had to do it today, because usually Saturdays I rest. Because I always used to work every Saturday, so Saturdays I make it a point not to do anything, but this I had to throw it in there. I'm just going to take a little bit off because it's still quite frozen. Get my shears and cut off the long roots, and then we'll put it in to our fast draining mix. You're not seeing what I'm doing. There we go. Just cutting some of these old roots off. I had to dig it out. And this is just so it breaks up. And I got a cheap pair of scissors at Harbor Freight because they're good for roots. And if you keep them sharp, I use it for roots, because if you cut into rocks and stuff, if you dull the blade a little bit, it ain't going to hurt. It's not going to hurt, It's not going to hurt your other shears, except this one. I'm just cutting it because the root ball is still frozen a little bit. I know I can pull some of it out, but I don't want to damage the roots too much. There. Get it just like that. We'll move this over. And I think it should fit in here pretty good. I got my rocks over here. So in order to fit this in, I'm going to have to see if I can cut a little more off. At least I can cut through the soil with it being hard. It's not too frozen solid because of the warm weather we had. That's why it's budding out. Just for now. And I'm not going to do nothing for the rest of the year, because when you do an emergency repot like this, I want it to have a chance to regrow again. Let me put that over there. Let me throw all this in the old pot. Well, not the old pot, just the pot here, because the other pot I found, I use it for something else, because I thought these were really gone. But I'm glad I found it. I'm glad these two survived. I got a nice leader coming up there, but let's get it in a pot first. So before I do anything, let me put some soil in there. And I got my mycorrhiza here, watered one, that I mixed with water. I got it in Mr. Elephant right now. I got a little Mr. Elephant. I got water on your head, Mr. Elephant. There, we got that off. And this is the tag, the tree. American Tamarack, larix, laricina, something like that, but the date washed off. Well, what are you going to do? I have to look. So, let's get some soil into the pot. And this is my real fast draining mix with extra perlite in there. I'll get more in there. I have to do this. Get it in. You say your 3/4 part didn't work. Well, that's life. I'll put something in the middle here later on to divide the forest. If I find a little house or something to put in there, might even have one. You know, how can't talk this morning. How houses are in between two giant trees for shade and winter protection. So I really have to put this. I put it last night on top of by the pond underneath the boxwoods, the microclimate there. So just to protect it from the heavy cold this morning and last night, because the temperatures dropped good. Centipede, centipede, where are you? I gotta say, Tom, what's the difference between dirt and soil? You know what the difference is? Anybody? Soil is a living organism. It has microbes, beneficial bacteria in there, little bugs and stuff that interact with the soil and help it to decompose right. Frankie's here. Frankie, what you doing, buddy? I don't know if you want to see Frankie. There he goes. He's camera shy. So let me get more of this in. And then, it's a nice sunny day, but I'm going to put it in a microclimate with the cold, because that's what it's used to right now. And I'm not going to keep it in the basement. I'm going to give good watering and then put it outside. There. And get my chopstick and just get in there underneath anything that's there. Can't fire it in because it's really hard. This old soil I'll put outside. just like that for now. I'm not going to decorate it because it is going to try and live. And you can see them just starting to bud. So I'll put a date when I repotted it. I'll have to look and see when I got it. When I first did it, I have to check my notes. That's why I keep my notebooks. So, rocks. First, Mr. Elephant. Now, usually I spray it for surface tension, but this is so fast draining, I don't need to spray it. And I mixed it real good. With a scoop of the beneficial bacteria in there. I'll put that pot outside because it's all messy until I can wash it real good or put in a bucket of soapy water. But right now, we're getting all that beneficial bacteria into the root system because for conifers, pine, spruce, whatever, they like an ectobacteria. And that's what this one has. It's got endo and ecto in there. So let's hopefully this will work with the roots to get it going. Get it real good until it runs out. And you can see that this boulder can be here. This one here to hold it down. This one may be over here. And then if I got a little house on the prairie, if you remember that show. Let's see, what do I got here? Yeah, I got a little house. It's a beat up house, but it's still a house. And we'll put it into here. Nestled under two tamaracks. There we go. Wipe it off. And now, since I did some cutting, I got my, let me put this up so you can see a little better. Oh, here's a new leader coming up. So I'm going to get my ironwood pruners. You know, nothing cuts wood like ironwood. I'm going to cut this dead piece off right there. And I'm just going to prune this back. And take a little bit off the leader. It's about here so it can start to grow. Allowing some room for dieback, but cutting at an angle. I'm going to cut this back to here. I'll see if I can root these. This one's starting to really bud out, so I'm going to have to cut it to here. And I got an outward facing bud coming out this way, that's why I'm cutting it there. And into the middle here, cut that out. Tweezers. There we go. Get that one over here. Who knows, maybe they'll root. And you know, in a scraggly forest, what are you going to do? Some buds aren't breaking out, but this one's growing into here, so we're going to cut this to here so I can save that one there to grow out. And cut this one back a little bit. And this one, and this one. You never know if they're going to root or not. So I can give it a try. Get this bottom one back. Cut these dead ones off. Yeah, I don't know what's tearing up these plants, but what are you gonna do? Kevin just jumped on my aquarium and broke the one piece of glass, that cover, so I had it's a good thing I had a spare. So I got that dug out. Kevin's alright. He's just being rambunctious this morning. You can see on the beginning of the interview how he was smelling this tree like you wouldn't believe. I mean, he was smelling it. Okay. That's why a good pair of tweezers is to help pick out junk. I don't know, maybe these will root, I don't know. Now this one I'm going to cut back to a piece of green growth. This one, it's got a piece coming up this way. But I want this as the brain here. I don't know if you can see it. Let's put it down a little bit. But over here is the brain coming out this way, so I'm going to keep that one and cut that piece off. And this one here, clean up the bottom a little bit. Take this one off. This might be a good cutting here. Get the tweezers. And then I'll put this in some water to soak until I have a chance to repot them. See if I can get them to root. Because I do, I don't know what I do with that thing. I have to look. So we got some of this here. Get off some of these twigs out of there that are still green. Maybe they'll root. Who knows? I don't know. But we can always give it a shot. We can try it. So there we go. There's our tamaracks. Let me cut this one back to here. Get that out of the way so we can have it a little bit clear in the middle. This one's going straight down, so we can't have that, so I'm going to cut it back to facing bud coming out that way. I got another bud coming out this way, so I'm going to cut this one right there. This one's going in, so I got two branches coming this way and that way, two buds, so I'm just going to cut above them to open up the canopy, and the same thing right here, but I got a bud coming out this way, so right now I'll just cut it right above it. There we go. I don't know if them little cuttings will work, but we can always try it out. Now this one's coming straight down and out. So I'm going to cut it right to here because I got a bud coming up this way. And this one I'm going to cut back, and I might cut it back to here because I got a bud coming out this way and one coming up that way. So there we go. Tamaracks is cut. I'm gonna say, Tom, what about this one coming out? Yep, I just seen it. So I got an outward facing bud coming this way, one this way, one this way. So for now I want this bud to come out, but you know what, I'm gonna cut it right about here and see how these buds come. If this one comes up and this one comes out, we'll go from there and try to cut it, trim it later. Now this one is coming straight out, so I'm going to cut it to here because I got an outward facing bud coming this way. So that's your grow and clip method. So it survived 2 winters, -8 below, and then with all that cold and me not being able to find it. And look at this, I missed this guy. Cut him back a little bit. Okay. And then I'll look up the date on this and then put this in. Got the rocks to hold it down. I have to put it in a spot to see if I can save it. I don't know. Hopefully it'll grow. It should, because we didn't take too much off on the bottom of the roots and it was laying flat. So that's what saved this. It wasn't turned on the side so the roots would all dry out. So this temporary pot, I got to put it outside. It's really got to be washed. And ceramic's no good for outside. But this survived the winter outside without cracking, so hey, knock on wood. So today is Sunday, it's family day. So spend time with your parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles that don't have anybody. And then at night, around 6 o'clock, shut that phone off. Tell everybody after 6 o'clock I'm not answering the phone. I don't care if you want to jibber jabber or what. I'm not answering the phone. If it's emergency, one ring, hang up, one ring, hang up, one ring, hang up, and call again. And if you do that and you start talking jibber jabbers, no. I'm not going to hang up and say, sorry, goodbye. That's what I do if somebody calls you, Cook County Morgue, and hang up. They won't bother you. So you take care, everybody. Enjoy a nice hot cup of tea with the family tonight. You got kids, sit down, let them watch a little bit of Lawrence Welk when music was music, and sit back and relax in family night. Movie, read a book together, whatever you want to do, but stay with the family tonight. You take care and enjoy the day, because today I got a lot to do. Take care, everybody.